I think that instead of going to uni, people will go into apprenticeships and trades because it's easier that way and people will be getting paid. They're not going to want to put themselves in that amount of debt when they know that they don't have the income there. Obviously there'll be people that still go, but I think that the number will decrease to where it is right now.
But the government has said that for people from lower incomes that they won't be charged the 9,000, it will be like 6,000. But at the end of the day, I do believe if you really want to go to uni, regardless what price it is, you'll still go. And it all depends. Like we were discussing before, what degree do you want? What do you want to be in the future? Because if you wanted to be a builder, you're not going to go uni for that. You would take the apprenticeship. But if you want to do architecture, you're more likely to go to uni.
In terms of the course, I think when it comes to uni, I think it'll just maybe affect people's choices. In terms of less people go, let's say Manchester or Nottingham, but will stick to London. I think the choices that I think people still go to university. What's going to change is their course choices. People look for jobs where, like, when I leave, my average salary is going to be over 40k to make it economical. There's no point going to university to get debts of 27k or so to earn 25k. It's not really economical. I think it's going to affect people's choices. But in terms of discouraging black students from going higher education,
people don't realise that none of this has to be paid up front. I know we say that, and we probably don't. We probably think, well, surely people must. That's because we're in university. We're used to the fee system. When you're 16 and you're just hearing £9,000 all the time, and nobody's talking about loans, nobody's talking about, oh, you only have to pay this back after 21 grand. Nobody's hearing that. I think part of the problem is it's not being communicated properly. And people are just hearing this £9,000 a year without also hearing just as forcefully, this doesn't have to be paid any time before you're earning 21 grand.
And people are forgetting that there's like kind of subcultural backgrounds that like within like the whole black community. There's like people from different areas of the country. They'll have different, or with families, they'll have different mentalities of how they think about going to university and their education. So it's like some people will still be determined and will definitely want to go to pursue their career path. But then I think a lot of people will still want to, like, they'll be discouraged by their families from going because they're thinking there's this kind of culture going about at the moment that university isn't worth the time and the education, and that you're going to get all this debt at the end. So regardless of like the system and whether you have to pay up front or not, I still think some, especially poorer families, are going to be discouraged from going unless their child is like of a very high light.
I definitely agree with him, because what we've got to remember, 15 years ago, uni was free. And people weren't going to it that much when it was free, when it was available for everyone. Now it's £3,000. We all still want to go uni. We're all still fighting for university places.
For me and my family, when we look at universities, I involve them in that process. I think they would look at other countries as well, possibly abroad, to see if there's an alternate option.
So I feel university is like a rite of passage. It makes you independent. Yeah, it can cost 3,000, 9,000. That doesn't. It's still priceless to moving away from home, living, paying your own bills, doing everything, doing your course, getting to network. Because once you go to uni, there's people that you wouldn't meet within your circle of friends. People that they can get you to higher places. Even this ACS discussion group, if you didn't go to uni, you wouldn't know about it. So you wouldn't be able to come to certain things like this. And we've got to still remember the top jobs you need is either you have to be well connected or you have to have a good degree.
I don't necessarily think it's the right passage, and I think like an individual has to look at like where they want to go with life, because what I want to do in my life is different to my sister, but I don't look down on her in any way just because I'm in university. Like, she's done well for herself, considering that she moved from Birmingham when she was 16 and now she's independent. Yeah, I'm in debt. So I think people need to look at like their own situation and where they want to go with life. You know?
But you've got to remember, the people you're working with, they're going to become like your second family. Like, once you're working them hours, you want to feel comfortable with them. And if you know if it's predominantly white or predominantly Asian and you don't feel comfortable with that, you might just want a network just to help you transition.
I don't know, I think it's important, for instance, like getting a mentor who's a leader in the company who's black and from a similar background or similar ethnic background is, I don't know, it makes you feel at home or something.
I'm seeing, before I meet you, I'm seeing a piece of paper. I'm seeing your CV. That's what I'm given first. So I'm now judging you on that. If you then come in and you're black, white, Asian, and then I change my opinion on you, that's not fair. Like in the work, is everyone striving for equality? At the end of the day, that's not being equal. That's not being fair. You should judge on merit. You should see people's hard work and then reward them on that fact.